I've got to talk about something which is bothering me recently, and that is transgendered individuals. Because I don't even like the T being part of LGBT. Because LGB is to do with sexuality, and T is to do with gender. So they're completely different things. They're based on completely different principles. They should not be related, but apparently it's transphobic to say that T shouldn't be part of the LGB. Well, get rid of the T. It's not transphobic to say that. What is misogynistic? Actual misogyny is throwing out the lesbians because of their genuine concerns for trans activism, wiping out their existence. You know, you've got trans athletes that win athletic events because they're men. They've got the muscles of men, the biceps of men, the triceps of men. But they win female-only events because we're in a crazy world that thinks that gender is just some sort of social construct and not a biological imperative. It's anatomical, it's fixed, it's biological, it's physical. It's not social. It's not some sort of ironic construct. You're born with a penis, not an ironic penis. And I've heard word from all these transgender individuals. They say, oh, I'm a man normally, you know, a big hairy bloke. But when I put makeup on, when I wear a dress, when I dress like a tart, when I put lipstick on, then I become a woman. Then I become Linda. Oh, isn't that an insult to women? The only way you can become a woman, the only way you can feel like yourself is when you wear makeup, or when you wear lipstick, or when you wear a G-string going up your crack. Isn't that insulting to women? And I think women are insulted generally. That's why they're trying to actually campaign against it, to have some sort of rights. Because transgendered people's rights seem to supersede everyone else's right now, because that's the agenda. And I'm sorry about the word gender. Trans rights. I saw a trans woman get on a bus one time with a floral dress. I was thinking, what the hell are you wearing? No woman would ever wear that dress. You are clearly a man trying to look like a woman. You feel that that dress is appropriate. It isn't. You need to talk to actual women and be told that you look like a mong. And if this is hate speech, so be it. I'm a faggot, so if no one else can talk about trannies, well, no one can if I can't. That's quite frank. By the leftist own standard, by their own algorithms, they will scan you, look at the context. Oh, if you're gay and you're talking about people in a disparaging way, oh, we can't have that person in the LGBT community. We can't have that person in the inclusive LGBT community, so we have to exclude them from the inclusive LGBT community. So we exclude gays against Sharia. Lots of gay people realizing that the destiny of Sharia law is going to get them killed and lose their rights. So they're excluded from the inclusive LGBT. The lesbians that are worried about trans activism being misogynistic, they're excluded from the inclusive LGBT. Everyone is excluded from the inclusive LGBT. That's the point in the inclusivity, is it? To exclude people. And this message needs to get out to the likes of Peter Tatchell and people like that, who always virtue signal in these pride marches, but don't seem to realise that excluding your own community, for whatever reason, excluding members of your own community, isn't being inclusive. And Peter Tatchell needs to call it out and reject the whole idea of pride and LGBT pride or LGBT XYZ. But he's not going to, because he seems to be part of the problem. When you wake up, when you realise that it was just virtue signalling, it was just moving on to a different cause, and they're not worried about gay rights, and they're not bothered about disease rates or, you know, HIV or drug use or anything. They don't care about the gay community. They've got that solved already. They've already done the gay community. They've already done lesbians. They've already done that. They've moved on to trannies. And now they're going to get them all their rights so that no one can say anything. Now trannies are going to have so many rights that you won't be able to say they look ridiculous in a floral dress, because that'll be hate speech. And women won't be able to say anything about them because that'll automatically be hate speech. Women, you have no rights, and you need to do something about trans activism. It's taking away your rights, and it's taking away gay people's rights, and LGBT activism in general. It's taking away actual gay people's rights, actual homosexual people, whilst appeasing Muslim invaders and ideologies that want to kill us. And I could say why, but then when you realise that most of the funding comes from Saudi countries and Arab countries and corporations that work with these Arab nations and the corruption and the New World Order, etc., you'll understand why. This is why they want to hurt us. It's about using us and controlling us. That's why they gave us social media, to take it away and censor us all unfairly, etc. They don't care if it's unfair. They don't care if they're called out. They are just controlling us. They're exploiting us and controlling us. And we need to wake up to it and stop it.